Well, hello everyone. It is a Friday, November the 5th, 2021. I am your host, Dale Delbridge, Benchmark Realty, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And tomorrow, being Friday, we had a bye week. Both Big Orange and the Tide had bye weeks last week. Had to get over the little hangover type thing. Tide has LSU going on at Bryant-Denny, if I looked at the schedule just right. And we have Big Orange with Kentucky. Now, I have to check the magic book of answers, the cell phone, which says that Kentucky is 6-2, 4-2 in the conference. That's a little more conference play. I think we got 6-2 overall, and we have, let's see, who is it? Big Orange at 2-3 in the conference, with 4-4 overall, so that's batting 500. Have to be politically correct and say, be impartial, but look, just looking at the numbers, it looks like University of Kentucky might have a shot to beat UT. I don't want to go back into the history of how often that happens, but I do wish the Wildcats and the Big Orange a good game and a good fair game, without all that laying down out there in the field to stop time and throwing mustard bottles and all that kind of stuff like that. All right, none of that, because we're over that. We're moving on, okay? Well, who else we have out there? Florida is still not bowl eligible. Who is already bowl eligible at this point? Looks like, well, Alabama, Auburn, 6-2, Mississippi, Texas A&M. I would say Mississippi State's going to get there before it's over. Arkansas might make it, actually. It might make it. If I looked at their schedule just right. But anyway, that's the SEC. You're not here for it, but it's just kind of fun. All right, I have the numbers usual, and we'll get to them. But the big news this week, if you've been following the last couple of posts, was there's been some shakiness in Zillow. Now, the Zillow has, as you know, because you watched it. I know you watched the video. Because you watched the video, you know that Zillow has different divisions, and it's Zillow Buys, or the iBuyer, the internet buyer, the instant buyer, whatever you want to call it. It's been announced that they are going to shut that business unit down. Now, I see online lots of real estate folks having a big time at this misery. And iBuying does pose a threat to the conventional market where you hire yourself a professional, somebody like me. But 25% of Zillow's workforce is going to get laid off. And I have to make notice of that, because even with the competitiveness as we like to do, people are still people. And I assume that those people need their jobs, and they probably have families somewhere at some stage. Maybe they're a little older and take care of a parent, or maybe they've got younger children, or maybe they're just starting out. I don't know, but they're people and they have lives, and I feel for them to lose their job on this business unit. Now, Zillow has other things to it that the other iBuyers I know because you watched the video, at the other iBuyers like Open Door, Redfin, etc. And there's a new one that got launched out of Texas this week for investors. These type of real estate models do exist. I don't see the reason to celebrate yet somebody else's loss or failure. The people and we've always had them. We've always had people that want to try to sell their home or buy their home on their own without using somebody like me. We've already had them. A lot of times they're just for sale by owners. The iBuying really is a kind of a twist on that. Zillow, though, has other industries that would still work within the industry, but they have other things that they bring to the table. They have other business units, and they were more profitable. You know, they run the famous website, and they collect a lot of data there. They also sell leads when people show up on their website. They funnel that information to potential real estate people, who then, as one visitor explained it, hound you. That's not what I do, because I'm not like that, but that's their report. And then they also have, they bought a company called Showing Time, and we use Showing Time to schedule visits to houses. And so they have other irons in the fire. And if you're finding out that, maybe we've got this economy going tough on them, particularly, and we know that they're in heavy blue areas, the branded economy seems to be hurting them in those areas a little bit more than some of the other places that are not as robust. So my personal opinion, not to be associated with Benchmark, is that they just simply decided to concentrate on where they could make their more money, and instantly to fill the void, we have those other iBuyers. So for other real estate people who do what I do, I don't see the benefit of wallowing in somebody else's misery with them and celebrating that. They're people. I would prefer that you use me. If I don't earn your business because you know, like, and trust me, then you're probably not going to do it just because Zillow is closing that one business. And sometimes people are just the way people are. But I have the numbers, and so we'll get to them. But let's hit that advert that I always do every week. Hello, I'm Dale Delbridge of Benchmark Realty, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. If you are currently unrepresented and would like to know how to compare up to 3 properties side by side and room by room, then go over to my new YouTube channel, Call Dale to Sell. That's 1 L and Dale, no spaces. Watch the demo on Real Scout and then call me and we'll set up your exclusive ad-free account today. Now that we got that done, I have the numbers. And oh, by the way, I have some notes on here that remind you, if you want to look on calldale2sell.com, under the, I think I retitled it on YouTube instead of Call Dale to Sell because that was a little bit redundant up here. But on YouTube is the new tab, the new name of the tab. You'll find the status chat, this chat, and others. And you'll also find Home and Land. And I believe I uploaded, I got to finish the details there in a minute, a video on Radon, because Radon came up in conversation. And of course, since I'm not representing you, this is not to be construed as advice at this point in time. It's just there as friendly information, and it's got a big long disclaimer in front. So go watch that video if you have some thoughts about that. There'll probably be a follow-up. I like to look at numbers instead of feeling all that emotion that just locks us all down and leads us sometimes into good choices and sometimes maybe in some bad choices. Sometimes it just worries us and we suffer needlessly. If we just had a little bit more information, we could feel a little bit better about our choices. Because anyway, that's there on the on YouTube tab, I think is what I called it. Anyway, so let's look at last week's numbers. Last week's numbers: 10/29/2021, 10/1/42. That's the opportunities in Real Scout system. That includes the coming soon, so they are officially on the market. You can't see them, you know that. By now you know that. So that actually dropped just a tad, and we see that 4611 were the under contract still showing. So that's the ones we're holding on to that we're still marketing. Maybe we're taking it in the backup position. We got the paperwork on it. Make sure you're a real estate person. If you're listing for them, actually fills out the paperwork for a second position to keep it all good. And the ratio, integer ratio, dropped to 45 over the previous week. Now, if you'll forgive me, I got to do my Bob Seger imitation here. Now, this week, 11/5/21, we had 130, that's 10,030 in the opportunities. That went down a little bit more, and we see that in the under contract still showing, it actually ticked up just a tad to 4665. That means we're holding on to those contracts, but still showing that many of them. They're still showing them. So that's an indication maybe we might be slowing just a little bit. It is getting ready to be wintertime. Did you notice this morning? Okay. So, and we hit our integer ratio did jump 2 percentage points to 47. So that's it. We appreciate you. Go Big Orange. Go Wildcats. Roll Tide, roll.